Today, I'm going to show you guys how I defeated the Ultimate Red Zone Brawly stage with a free-to-play team. By beating this, I've completed every single Ultimate Red Zone in the game and every single difficult content in Dokkan Battle for 2022. We'll see what 2023 has to offer. Thank you guys for being on this journey with me. If you guys do enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Without further ado, here is how I defeated AGL Brawly. So let me introduce you to the team. It is going to be the Ginyu Force free-to-play team featuring AGL Ginyu as the friend leader. The reason why the Ginyu Force works so well is because two of the phases have STR, and AGL Ginyu is the perfect unit to blitz through those, especially the third phase where he does the AoEs. An AoE super attack from the STR Brawly is going to just kill us no matter what, especially when we have to save the Weezers for the final phase, or else we're just not going to win. So beating that third phase is the most important thing. I am not bringing Tech Goldo, even though that would be nice for the final phase. Like I said, it is more important to be able to beat that third phase in 2 or 3 turns, or even 1 turn, if possible. Now, I do want to quickly explain the first 3 fights of this battle, just because in the final winning run, I did not record these 3 fights. So I'll briefly explain the strategy, and then we can get into the final phase here. So first of all, the STR first phase. Your goal is to survive for at least 3 turns on this guy. It can be pretty difficult to do that, especially if AGL Ginyu multiple super attacks. But the reason for that is so you can stall for the transformation for AGL Ginyu, so you can start stacking his attack as soon as possible. And of course, build up like Raccoon as well. Now, luckily, you can seal the STR Brawly, so Int Ginyu is a very nice unit to have in here. I kept Int Ginyu as well as Physical Ginyu together, and then the Tech Ginyu as well as AGL Dokkan Ginyu together. The Tech Ginyu Force and AGL Ginyu have an extra defense link compared to the Physical, so that's why I did that. And then, of course, Int Ginyu being the sealer, very nice to have on the rotation, and as well as Physical Ginyu for some extra tanking post-super. So for the second phase, which is Tech, Int Ginyu is going to be an ideal unit to have on your rotation. Hopefully, the Tech Brawly super attacks only Int Ginyu, and if you haven't transformed already, taking a super attack here is mostly ideal before it's too late, because if you do transform on the STR AoE phase, you don't have enough time to stack up, unfortunately, unless you have the best RNG with AGL Ginyu, which I did not. I've lost many runs already with AGL Ginyu not stacking enough, so you gotta make sure you stack as soon as possible. And all it is here, because you can't seal, is just luck. Hopefully you just don't take a super attack, or you take a super attack post-super of some of these units. Tech Ginyu and Physical Ginyu take about 300,000-ish post-super. AGL Ginyu can actually tank for like 400,000, depending on how many super attacks you did pre-transformation. And of course, Int Ginyu takes about 100,000, maybe even less post-super. Using Jace, of course, to seek super attacks and the AGL Ginyu's a high chance to seeking super attack is a must. Now, when it comes to STR Brawly, all you have to do is pray that he does an AoE, and if you do so, you will obviously win. Most of the units can tank his normal attacks pretty well, since he's not that damaging, I guess. Even Raccoon built up can probably tank a normal attack pretty well as well. You just have to worry about the pre-hits, so that's where AGL Ginyu and Berta come through. And then with enough temps, you will finally get that lucky run where he just doesn't super attack, and then you can move on to the AGL phase, which is where the real recording begins. I'm sure you guys are quite disappointed that I didn't get the reaction to the win, so here's a close run real quickly before we jump into the real winning run of when I was like 1 bar left on Brawly. Come on, man! Come on! Just triple super critical! Triple super critical, man! Just triple super critical! No! No! 156? Can Ginyu survive 56,000? He has a double super, but double super. Double super, man. Double super crits. Oh my god. So, we are beginning the run here. As you can see, we have just beaten the STR AoE Broly. We are starting off with AGL Ginyu on the rotation with Tech Ginyu as well as STR Jace. With Jace, we can seek that there are 2 super attacks. So, we do have to use a Whis, unfortunately. I would have liked, of course, if we didn't have to. But with 260,000 HP, during the actual attempt that I was doing, I had to jump onto the Dokkan damage calculator to figure out if I could actually even survive this with 1 Whis, and I was able to. So I'm just running through all of that. Now, we do have to build up that Dokkan Vita, so that AGL Ginyu is going to be the one to do so, because he's actually going to do the most damage compared to Tech Ginyu Force. Even though they have type advantage, it is more beneficial since we have just stacked a lot of attack at this point with the AGL Ginyu. So Broly does his first super attack here, and that is going to do around 80,000, which is not bad at all. I think this Ginyu was 100%, and I did maybe do an additional super attack pre-transformation, so I was able to maybe tank a little bit more than I thought I would, because sometimes he would be taking from AGL Broly, even with 1 Whis activate, 200k. Maybe that's just because Jace is there as well. So there's it could have been that, but luckily this Ginyu did do multiple super attacks. Criticals are going to be super important, so we've done about 2.5 bars. Tech Ginyu, of course, going to do some decent amount of damage, being type advantage, and post super he can tank a super attack pretty well. One thing that you need to know before we jump into the next rotation is that I floated out physical Ginyu on the last turn of the STR AoE Broly. And the reason for that is so that I can get a max supported AGL Ginyu on the Dokkan mode. I thought that was going to be enough to actually get the W. Now, of course, which means that we don't have the support for this rotation. But if we're double Whising anyway, I thought that we would be fine. So just saving all those blues here, just so I can get as much heal back as possible, because we are only sitting at 90,000. And I was still honestly scared that AGL Broly bypasses the double damage reduction so that we take 80,000. I've seen the Ginyu take 7,000 on the super, which is kind of ridiculous. So I just wanted to make sure. And of course, that helps us for the next turn. Even though I could have saved it for those AGLs for AGL Ginyu, probably get a full heal back. I thought it would just be more important here. So we kept Raccoon and Birda on rotation because they have, 300,000 on Raccoon. If he guards, he can take normal attacks just fine. And then Birda's been stacking quite a bit as well. And I think into Ginyu has very little impact on this battle. Even though he has type advantage, it was just not really worth it. Luckily, I did grab those AGLs, by the way, because physical Ginyu did cuck us and change the AGLs. So here it is. I was just now guessing where to put physical Ginyu and Tech Ginyu, because physical Ginyu on his 18 key can raise his allies' attack and defense post super, which means that if I put him in the middle slot, Tech Ginyu would do a lot more damage. Of course, I'd lose that 10% attack and defense link with Gentleman. So I decided to just keep the rotations. Ginyu here takes the super attack. We already know it's 70,000, which is fine. It was just if physical Ginyu takes a super attack, it's kind of just game over. So it was more than just a guess. I wish AGL Ginyu did seek here. And here comes the Dokkan mode. So with Tech Ginyu, he actually raises extreme class allies attack. So at least physical Ginyu is going to do some damage. However, not as more impactful if I put physical Ginyu in the first slot. But yeah, that's just what I decided to do at that point. Maybe it would have been better. Hindsight, it probably was better. But you'll see in a second why. We did like 10 million for the Dokkan mode, which is good. We only did one super attack, however, so we're like 2.5 bars remaining. And then Tech Ginyu does his super, gets a crit, so it's 5 million, which is really good. No supers there, which is why I got really scared. AGL Brawly, if he's going to super attack, he's probably going to do 2 in 1 turn. And then Physical Ginyu, he luckily gets an additional super attack, raising his defense just a little bit more. So when Brawly did actually super attack at the end, it was actually enough for us to survive. Those AGL orbs that we grabbed from Berta was actually clutch, of course. And that double super attack made us so that we lived both super attacks barely. And of course, after the Dokkan mode, we got that full heal. Now it's just to decide who to put in the first slot. Jay's seeking super attacks. We are taking no super attacks whatsoever. I decided to put Raccoon first. I felt like he could tank the most if he didn't actually activate his guard, 300,000. And if we didn't kill here, then Berta had a chance to double super. Luckily, Raccoon finally hits his guards, finally. And he got a crit as well with that, so it was pretty much guaranteed that Berta came in for the kill. Berta clutch guard. And there you go. So there is the run here, which has now completed the whole red zone. Even though I think there's leaks of the Dragon Ball Superhero red zone coming out this year. We don't have to worry about that. We beat the hardest one. Let's just enjoy our victory while it lasts. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on so you don't miss out on the daily content. Check out my social medias linked in the description. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate your support. Until the next one, stay healthy, stay safe, stay busy. Peace out.